Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So, if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, LuAnn Nigara. LuAnn is a media personality, keynote speaker, and entrepreneur behind Window Works and Exciting Windows. She hosts A Well-Designed Business, a top interior design podcast with 8 million downloads and window treatments for profit, helping creative business owners grow confidence, capability, and of course, profit. LuAnn, welcome to Goalbusters.
Hello, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so looking forward to this conversation, Robin.
So am I, and you're extremely welcome. And whereabouts in the world are you, LuAnn?
I am in New Jersey in the USA.
Oh, so it must be what, afternoon for you, because it's early evening for me, which just gets
Yes.
in under my, it's still time for coffee time. So I'm quite jealous because I can't have it this time of night here in the UK.
No, right? Too
All right,
late,
shall
too
we-
late.
Yeah, I'm waffling, aren't I? Shall we do the questions instead?
Absolutely.
I'll just bring the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. LuAnn, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client, Robin, are creative entrepreneurs, particularly creative entrepreneurs who have exceptional talent and passion for the thing that they do, their craft, but they want to turn it into a business that supports their lifestyle and builds wealth, not a paycheck. So that's my ideal client.
That's perfect. You've given that some thought. I can tell. I think. All right. So it's not what I expected. It is what I expected. So what exactly is the problem or the problems that you solve for your ideal clients?
Well, the thing about creatives is that their craft is the thing that they do. That's the work product, and it's the thing that they're passionate about. So whether you're an interior designer, you're a window treatment specialist, maybe you're a wedding cake maker, maybe you're a photographer, maybe you're an artist, right? A sculptor or something like that. That work is the fun part, and that work is also time consuming. But typically the surprise is when you turn something like that you're passionate and talented in, Robin, when you turn it into a business, then you find out that, oh, that's actually, I only get to do that 20% of the time. 80% of the time I'm looking for the next person to sell that art to, or I'm doing an Instagram page so that people know what my beautiful designs look like, all of the things. And what happens is when a creative, faces this problem, now it's like, now what? Like maybe they learn their talent and their craft by hard work. Maybe they've learned it through education, but likely they've never been taught the business side. And so it's kind of an abrupt problem. It usually takes many by surprise. It eats away at their soul. It eats away at their family life because they're doing something that's not creating an income. And it gets accused of being a hobby, and they feel like it's actually work. And so, when they have that problem, I want to help them to understand how to create the business on the back end so that they get to do that passion and that talent for the rest of their lives. And it, like I said, becomes something that creates wealth for them, not just simply, a gig job, a job to job to job type of money.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely different identities are what you're describing there. And there's one that
Exactly.
they wanted to be, which is the creative, and the other is something that they're nearly not into, but they have to do
Exactly.
it or they can't
Yeah.
do the other. Yeah, okay. So,
Hmm.
what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to at least move some way towards solving this problem for themselves?
Well, the thing is, there's two things that go through my mind when you ask me this question. The first is that you do have to commit to knowing your numbers. And this is usually the biggest hurdle for creative entrepreneurs is to face that there is a cost to be open number. What does it cost to keep the business open? So whether you sell another piece of art, you commission another room to design, you do another wedding planning event, whatever your creative entrepreneurship is there's a number that you're going to pay every month, whether you have a client or not. And many, many creatives don't know what that number is. And so we need to know what that number is, the cost to be open number. And then from that number, then we want to design like, what do I want to earn this year? Right. So it's like reverse engineer it out. So if I want to earn $100,000 to bring back to my family, but I know it cost me $50,000 to keep my business open, well, then do I have to earn 250,000 so I can pay the 50,000 expenses? I can give myself 100 and there's another 50 or whatever that I didn't account for to business develop, to build a website, whatever, one off collateral assets to build the business, not the ongoing, right? So I find that creative entrepreneurs definitely get a big sense of aha and a big sense of, oh, I get it when there's a commitment to learning the numbers part, not just showing up every day and doing the passionate part. And then the second little quick thing about that is most creatives are right brain and they don't think in spreadsheets and they don't work that way. You work with productivity and you teach people this. It's find the way to make that business at 80% work for you. Don't work against your own skill set. I am a right brain entrepreneur. I am a right brain creative. I'm not a spreadsheet girl, but I know after all these years in business, you can design even that 80% for your squirrely right brain. You absolutely can. So, people like you teach us how to do that.
People like me, yes, hopefully. All right. So that now
Yes.
that we have a little bit of a better understanding of what you do, LuAnn, and I do stress a little bit because I only give you a few minutes, let's dive very briefly into goal busting itself, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. LuAnn, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits?
So, normally I defer them to people like yourself that teach the whole suite of how to make their whole business more efficient and productive. But if I were going to give one thing is you must carve time out to be the CEO. You have to schedule time for revenue generating activities before creative work. You can't go into your studio, whatever that looks like for you, and do 40 hours a week of creation and not go find the people to sell it to or sit with the bookkeeper and understand what's happening in the background. So my productivity hack for creative entrepreneurs is schedule in CEO time just like you schedule your creative studio time. And it might be 1 hour a week in the beginning because you don't like to do it. But the better you get at it, the easier it'll be to show up. And then the easier it is to show up, you'll realize the benefits that come and the joy that comes because now you can start to project your income and you can start to look around at yourself and your family and say, you know what, next year we're gonna do this. I'm gonna create this money in my business and I'm still happy and I'm still creating my art, my passion. But I schedule my CEO time so that the business is always taken care of.
Fantastic. And in the 20 seconds we've got left, could I ask you, what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please. 15 seconds. We can
Okay,
take a
so
bit
you have
longer.
to make, as a creative, you have to make a mindset shift. So I would say you have to ask me, what is the mindset shift that a creative has to make? And that mindset shift is that your work is valuable, that your work is needed, that your creative talent is needed. And if you do not run it like a business, you're not going to get to put it in the world. So make that shift in your head that it's needed, that you're not just out here in a hobby.
Brilliant. No, I mean that sincerely. Well done. I mean, we did overrun a little bit, but it's not really about the clock. It's about getting your message out there, and you did it beautifully. Thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. A real masterclass. you couldn't see me, but because it would look silly, but mentally I was nodding vigorously to everything you were saying in agreement. And thank you for the plug as well. But I think your whole presentation was superb. So LuAnn, at this point, I always ask a two-part question. It's slightly different today because of a conversation we had previously to the recording, but the first part is always the same, which is how can people reach you? The second part, I normally suggest that maybe there's a valuable free resource that they can get from you, but instead we decided that the valuable free resource is your podcast. So please tell us about your podcast. I'd love to hear more.
So the podcast, A Well-Designed Business, it's on 10 years. It's more than 1,100 episodes at this point. And I always say it's like the undergrad in business for creatives. And the conversation is geared towards the interior designer. So the word interior designer is there. But I had one time an iTunes review. The guy said, I'm a chiropractor in New York City, and I have literally doubled my business by listening to this podcast. So just substitute the word for whatever, entrepreneur lane that you're in, and it is the undergrad, 1,100 plus episodes on systems, finance, leadership, marketing, operations, all the things. And I mean, honestly, it's and through the podcast, I've exposed so many other consultants in our industry that help with, whatever, SEO, website development, photography, all the things. So, it's funny because a lot of times people are like, oh, why don't you this and why don't you that? And I'm like, well, I have a library of 10 years of resources. Is that not enough free stuff, please?
Fantastic. And where can they find the podcast? What's it called again?
So it's called A Well-Designed Business. Obviously, it's on Apple and Spotify and all the things. You can also go to my website, LuAnnNigara.com, and you will see the books there. You will see the podcast there. You'll see LuAnn University, which is where we teach creatives the business side of business. All of the activities and things that we do live off of LuAnnNigara.com.
Fantastic. And can I just say that based on the content you've given us today, the message that you gave, yes, your speciality is interior design, but your advice was universal,
It is
easily, very universal, highly universal. So I do encourage people to go and check out your podcast and your books. Oh, I love books. We don't have time right now, but I'd love to talk to you about those one day as well. So LuAnn, thank you so much for appearing on Goalbusters today. And it's been, as I say, an absolute pleasure and a delight.
Thank you, Robin. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're extremely welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.